Welcome back. I'm Chanel Jones here at MSNBC World Headquarters in New York. At the half hour, here's what we're monitoring. Members of the House finally received their confidential briefing on Russian involvement in election hacking yesterday. But some Democrats left the room shaken and furious over what they learned about actions taken by FBI Director James Comey.
Can you tell us anything about the discussion in the briefing?
No, it's classified and we can't tell you anything. All I can tell you is the FBI director has no credibility. That's it.
My confidence in the FBI director's ability to lead this agency has been shaken.
Everybody's buzzing about that today. Joining me now is California Congressman Eric Swalwell. He's the ranking member of the CIA subcommittee of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Thank you for talking with me on this Saturday.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, Chanel.
So you attended that briefing yesterday. Tell me, what you heard there, or frankly, we knew what was going on, when you guys went in, and then people came out so angry. What was the straw?
Well, people are starting to look at the evidence here and the fact that the Russian government, all of our intelligence agencies believe, was responsible for trying to influence our democracy. That is been signed off on. It was ordered by Vladimir Putin, and it was intended to help Donald Trump. And then you're starting to see more and more reports like that came out today that the Trump team was talking to Russian officials 2 weeks ago when President Obama ordered sanctions against them. And you also have the Trump team that will not release any information that our president-elect has about financial dealings with Russia. And so we all want to make sure that there are answers to the questions about Donald Trump's relationship with Russia, and he could do that by just showing us his taxes and his global financial holdings, and we want to make sure that that's investigated by our intelligence and law enforcement community.
Do you have confidence in the leadership of FBI Director James Comey? I mean, should he resign?
No, I have confidence in James Comey that he will investigate this. I believe that he, just like Republicans and Democrats in this country, want to make sure that we have a president-elect who has not been compromised. And I say that because if only it was true that he spoke so favorably about Russia and wanted to lift sanctions and wanted to unravel our NATO partnerships, that would be concerning. If only it were true that Russia hacked our democracy and tried to influence and help Donald Trump, that would be concerning. And if only Donald Trump did not release his tax returns and tell us what his financial holdings are, that would be concerning. But all three of those are true. And so I think there's a lot of questions that we are going to need our FBI team working on to look at whether our president has been compromised.
Let me switch gears for a bit. David Corn, an MSNBC political analyst and Mother Jones Washington bureau chief, spoke back in October with the former intel officer, official Christopher Steele. He wrote the memos being referred to as a dossier on the alleged intel Russia has against Trump. When asked last night about what's come of that contact since news of this came out, here's what David Corn said.
He has not made contact with people who I know, people who put me in touch with him, and I assume that he has gone into, if not hiding, he has tried to get away from the public eye.
I should reiterate that that memo is unverified. But, Congressman, do you think Christopher Steele has reason to worry about repercussions?
Again, I don't want to comment on something that's unverified, but I can just tell you, again, my former prosecutor hat is on here. Russia tried to influence our democracy. They clearly tried to help Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won't tell us or show us what his tax returns are. That certainly leads all of us to wonder what's going on between Donald Trump and Russia, and that's the duty of our investigations and the criminal justice community to solve. And so I think all Americans are counting on the FBI to get to the bottom of this. And also, if nothing was going on, we should also hear that too.
Well, I was going to ask you, I mean, there are viewers who are wondering right now, how much stock do you put in the information contained in that dossier? I mean, do you buy it or reject it?
Again, I just look at the public report that was released about what Russia did and how they sought to benefit Donald Trump, and the fact that Donald Trump won't show us his taxes. To me, he could clear all of this up and take away all of the clouds that are going to be hanging over his inauguration next Friday by just showing us his taxes. That would clear it up pretty fast.
The Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, says the intelligence community has not made any judgments about the reliability of the information in the dossier, but the fact that this even needs to be a point of discussion, how does it look to our foreign counterparts that this is a conversation happening, as you just mentioned, the president-elect prepares to take office?
it will be the responsibility of our law enforcement and intelligence community to get to the bottom of what is alleged there, as well as anything else that may be going on. And that is something that Republicans and Democrats, I think, should hope for. It would destroy our credibility in the world if we had a president who had financial dealings or collaboration with another country that tried to help him win an election.
I want to ask you quickly about a new interview with the Wall Street Journal. Donald Trump says he will likely keep some of President Obama's recent Russia sanctions in place unless Russia cooperates on fighting terror and other key issues. I know you've expressed concerns over the relationship between Trump and Putin. Does this ease your mind at all?
No, I think that is Donald Trump, again, saying one thing and showing he'll do another. And the story that just broke today that Donald Trump's senior advisors were talking to Russia the day that President Obama issued the sanctions back in December, that tells me everything. That there are side dealings and that there are likely side dealings before the campaign, before the election that were going on between the Trump team and Russia. And the American people deserve to know what those were and what Russia has, if anything, on Donald Trump.
I have to leave it there. California Congressman Eric Swalwell, thank you for talking with me on this Saturday.
Thank you, Chanel.
So ahead, Donald.